of a delay in this. This is, as usual, impromptu live. So I'll just wait until everyone gets on and gets notifications. And I haven't told anyone that I'm going live other than my admins. So let's see when this actually goes live on YouTube. If you are getting my notifications, hopefully you'll be able to see this. This is an impromptu live, and just thought I would do a check-in as the energy seems a bit weird. Here we go. Here's the first person. Please click thumbs up. Let me know that you're here. Hans, first person. Hello, how you going? So glad to see you all. Hi everyone. Kendra, Doreen, Libby, JJ, Janice, or Janice, I should say. Sorry about that, Janice. Carolyn, Amy, Annie, Susie. Sorry, I missed some names. Razi, Paul, Annette, Brad Beaver. How are you, Lulu? Marissa, Pauline, Heidi, Dragonfly, Hearthfire. Hello, everyone. Teresa, Kristen, Takey, Gemini, Starshine, Jeanette. Give a thumbs up. I thought I'd throw a really impromptu live. It's 3 p.m. here, roughly, in Sydney, outside of Sydney. Juicy K! Yes, my friends call me Juicy K. How are you all? Yeah, very nice surprise. This is the way I work. This is the way I do it. I just do impromptu things because, and I'll probably get interrupted. When I get a feeling to do something, I do it. If it doesn't feel right, I don't do it. And that's pretty much how it is when you operate from that space of intuition and starting to trust your feelings. So I hope that that example rubs off on all of you, because I'm just noticing that when we keep overriding these natural intuitive thoughts, we brush them off to do stuff out of obligation for others. I am probably going to get interrupted by my daughter, so because I had to rush over here. This is the house that she lives in part of the time, and I have my apartment, and there was a massive car accident on the highway, and so I turned around and came here. So this is all spontaneous. Yes, Libby, you love spontaneity too, in the now, intuitive awareness. Yes. Hello everybody. Let's have a look and see who else is in the chat. Mark Linford, hello darlings. Hello, hello, hello. So, I've got sparkles in my eye. Ding! Probably because of the lighting. How is everybody? I hope you're all well. Now, have you been feeling this very weird energy since the weekend? Well, since my number 314 video, that rant on Friday, which I didn't intend to rant, but I had my dear friend Hemi had come to stay with me for a week, and we were having a discussion, and I was saying how it was really horrible to witness a lot of really genuine people being shadow banned, and then the people who I knew were not doing so great work or who were misleading people were not being shadow banned. And I kind of felt that was a bit unfair. And then I explained how it all worked, and how, sometimes people are misled, and then they mislead others either knowingly or unknowingly. And that's where we have to practice this discernment. And that was my whole point. So I hope that all of you can understand that and comprehend that. And I'm sorry if my audio is a bit funny, but I might be blocking the microphone. But I hope you all understand that, yeah? So from that day on Friday where Hemi said, go live, just you should do a video. And I was like, yes. So we'll see, that was the intuition to do the video. So I had this instinct to just share what I felt, and this passion came out of me. And I may have sounded angry, but to be honest with you, I wasn't angry with the audience at all, because I felt just like you. I felt misled. I felt duped. I felt like all the vulnerable people out there should not have to keep going through this, and I wanted to explain to people with passion that there is a lot of misleading sort of stuff there, and also the very strong importance that the external world isn't the thing that's going to save us. It's our own internal realizations and our own internal work and our own internal awareness of our selves and our own fears. And how somebody in the chat, a lovely lady in my Telegram chat, was saying today, it's the fear that is our biggest enemy, and that's true. And so what is it that feeds off the fear? It is these entities. Now, if you don't wish to believe in actual entities that are feeding off our fear, then just know that it is fear that manifests and grows bigger, okay, in our world. And so this new energy from the weekend that I really picked up on, and I'm feeling this agitation everywhere. So there was this car accident. I could feel agitation with people. There was a lot of drama, and things are being brought to the surface. Now, I haven't checked the astrology, so if you are a person who does astrology, I know there was a new moon on Monday, I think. But as for the actual astrology, I try not to read too much of that because I don't want that to influence my own internal feeling about things. And that's what I'm talking about in yourselves. I would love to run a course on how to go within and develop your intuition. And I intend to take some time to write that or to develop a course to do that. I would love to do that and organize that so that everybody can understand this. But really, so many of my videos talk about this, right? Through example or through directly mentioning how to follow your intuition. And these little things that we can do every single day, like, for example, I'm stuck in traffic now. Either I could have pushed through and waited and sat in traffic for an hour, or the instinct to turn around and go a different direction. I had stuff to do at my apartment. I have to upload my new video, my Mark Bieski video, which I haven't done. I need to edit it a bit. I really should be at home. I shouldn't be here doing that. But my intuition is telling me, let's be safe, go back home, right? So there's an important reason. Now, if I didn't come here after following my intuition, I wouldn't have done this live. What if this live is now affecting someone who really needs to hear this message? So do you see how the universe works? Sometimes the things that we expect, the things that we need to do out of obligation might not actually be the right things to be doing. There might be a bigger purpose if we followed our intuition. And that's the main thing that I wanted to explain to everybody. So I'm going to just take, if anyone's got questions. I also, somebody said, James Bush says, who else feels the energy in their jaw? Yeah, I had this weird energy, and I kept thinking, have I got something wrong with my teeth? But it was like this electrical energy through my jaws. Yeah, I've had that in the last few days. So I don't think it's a nerve. I don't think it's tooth pain or anything like that. Other people love to follow plans, but I think what the universe is often doing, and what it's doing more and more, is it's throwing everything that it's got at us in order for shadow parts of ourselves to fall away. And sometimes you can't predict those things or those mishaps in your life. You need to adapt. And so developing your intuition and your own feeling about things is really important, because when a big event happens in the world, you're not freaking out because you've already been working on your own reserves. You've been working on, how do I adapt to new situations? How do I adapt to situations that aren't predictable? Okay, does that make sense? This is why intuition is so important. You can't plan for everything. Most people who suffer from anxiety and from OCD are usually, they're doing it out of fear, because that they're having to control their environment in order to feel safe. And so it's really important that we allow ourselves to feel safe every single day, through this natural adaptation process, and that comes with intuition. You can't overplan for this stuff. Sometimes people say, well, if I follow politics and the economy, that will help me prepare and I won't be anxious. But I'm saying to you that you've got to sort of balance this stuff out, right? Because sometimes getting too caught up in the narrative of the media, whether it's politics or finances, can actually cause you despair. It doesn't allow you to feel informed. The information that you're being given, most of it is propaganda. So how is it? What is it informing you of? That's the question I want to ask. What is it informing you of? Oh, Nilsa, I'm so sorry that you had a car accident on Friday. Yeah, there's a really weird sort of energy, this combative energy that's coming up for a lot of people. And I'm seeing things like accidents and mishaps and things like that happening right now. So I hope that you're all staying centered and not reacting. So let's talk about the video that I did on number 314. If you are at all wanting to know anything for me to clarify from that question, from that video, a lot of people are saying to me, don't explain yourself. We understand what you meant by that video. But I did want to address that. I did want to address that you know, I wasn't yelling at the audience. Okay. I know it sounds like I was angry at my audience. Annette, please, can you just talk to Monique about that and not distract me about something that it's not my company or my business to deal with the financial side of someone else's business. Please, can you just email them and not me in this chat? It's got nothing to do with what I'm talking about right now. Okay, please, can you do that? Okay, it's distracting to see comments in capital letters that have nothing to do with what I'm discussing right now. Okay, so let's just talk about this video. I wanted to say that I know it sounded like I was angry with the audience, and I wasn't angry at the audience. I was very frustrated with the injustice of people being deceived by people deliberately deceiving others in the mainstream media. It was a frustration on my part in that people need to see through this now and start to question what's going on around them. That's where the frustration was coming from. Do I have these angry outbursts a lot? No, I don't. I used to, because of injustice, as I said, and it's a righteous sort of anger. And I think it's okay for us to be angry sometimes. And I think we need to embrace that righteous anger. Vitriolic, sort of acerbic, sort of really vicious anger is probably not healthy. But I think righteous anger is sometimes warranted. I think that that's okay. Okay, and there were people in the comment section who brought up something that I think is really important to address in terms of me being transparent. There were some people who don't follow my videos. They probably watched one or two when I first got started, where I was pulled into the truther circuit and asked to make predictions about things. I didn't know what I was doing early on. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be of service to people. If they want to know about what's happening in the political arena, I'll do it. So I started tapping in and seeing what I could get about political situations. And as a result, people felt very duped by that. They thought that I was part of the cabal. They thought that I was part of this whole misleading sort of deep state situation. I can't begin to tell you how many people were accusing me of all sorts of things. And I just want to say, I apologize if I ever led you astray, or if you ever only see me as that person, this person that you think was deliberately deceiving you. I really apologize for all of that. Okay. And I honestly promise you that every single thing that I put out on my channel, I did it from my heart. I only ever put stuff out that I believed in. The only times, and this is the stuff I can't really say publicly, if you want to know the real truth behind the background stuff that was private that was going on, I was often sort of influenced to do videos or shows, and something in me was going, not sure if I want to do that show, right? And I did it to be good. I did it to be good to the other person. So out of obligation, I did videos, okay, with some people early on. But very quickly, I'd say within the last 2 years, so only very early on I did that. In the last 2 years, you'll notice since the start of 2021, I made it a very, very clear decision not to do videos with certain people, mostly people that either I didn't know. So if I didn't know people and I wasn't resonating with them, or if they were in a truther circuit, I said no. Unless I knew them very well, I said no to a lot of videos, even really popular people. I got asked and bombarded with by so many well-known people to do videos, and the ones I regret are the ones I did out of obligation to try to be nice and polite to people, okay? Because you can see, I don't really want to, you see it in my face. I can't hide anything. I'm on a show with someone and I'm just looking like, I don't want to do this show, okay? And that's what happened. So I stopped doing that, and I started to see the back end of the deception. I started to see that there was people that I was getting a bad feeling about, and I started to realize that these were people who were put there, almost trained by three-letter agencies, and I could see the deception and I could see what was operating them. A lot of them were like empty vessels, and it was almost like something was working through them. So they would act like a normal person, but I could see in their eyes there was something else operating. So they were saying nice things, but there was something in their eyes that almost looked like robotic, mind-controlled AI type programming working through them. And whenever there was someone asking me to come on their show, I'd tap in. And if I got that funny feeling of, this person might be on the wrong side of things, or they might be leading you astray, I said no. Okay. There were also some good people I said no to, just because I was so busy, or I didn't get around to responding to them. So I don't want you to think that just because someone hasn't been on my show that I don't like them. Okay, that's not why I didn't do shows with people. So there's a mixture of reasons. And also, who am I to be the person telling everyone who to watch? I've said this before. I'm not here to tell you who to watch. Not once have I mentioned a name. Not once. All of my admins will attest to this. In my chat, people ask, what do you think about this person? What do you think about that person? What do you think about that person? I said no names, don't mention names. I will delete your comment. In my chats, I always delete comments. If someone badmouths anyone, I don't care who they are, I do not allow it. I ban them. And yet I have had at least, I can count on one hand, the amount of people with popular channels who have badmouthed me. Okay, and they have said that I am divisive and that I am the one, making people mistrust. I've not mentioned any names. I've had people deliberately saying very nasty things about me. I have the screenshots of really popular YouTubers saying really bad things about me, nasty things publicly to their audience, and then they delete their comments. Okay, I have screenshots of these. And so when I have a person or a group of people saying that JCK is divisive and she's trying to say she's better than everyone, I'm actually not. I'm saying discern for yourself. I can't teach you how to use this discernment. You have to, it's trial and error. I can't tell you who to trust and who not to. Every day I get messages from people saying, I've just watched so and so. What do you feel about them? And I can't answer. I cannot answer for you. It's not my journey. Okay. It's not my journey to tell you who is good and who is bad. I have had people on my show that I really question their motives. Okay. I look back now and I go, I really question that person's motives. You know, why did they do that show? But I always stood in my truth. So even if the person is not what you would call respectful or trustworthy, even if I did a show with them, just watch the way I handled myself. I always spoke my truth, no matter what came out of their mouth. Okay. That's the way you have to be, right? So I'm going to have a look at your messages now. Not sure what you guys have been saying. It's really hard to concentrate on what I'm saying if I'm reading your messages. So let's just have a look. Yeah, this is my necklace from Mark Bajewski. It's got Herkimer diamond up the top, moldavite and tektite. And I can't wait to put that video up with him. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful person that he is. He really is. Like I could feel the genuine no ego kind of personality from him. He just wants to be of service to people. And so what if people are trying to sell something? Of course they are. Of course people are trying to sell. Please, this is the problem with the awakened community. Some people, they're either pushovers and really naive and gullible, or they're the opposite. They're so cynical. They've gone off the edge and they're so cynical of everyone. And anyone who sells something, they're calling them grifters. And it's like, do you understand how the world works? People have to eat. People have to, sell things. Mark Bajewski, decades of working in healing, and he's realized I need to get really genuine crystals. There's a lot of fake crystals out there. I'm going to dedicate my time to getting real crystals for people and supply them in a shop. He's a businessman. I'm going to get the best Palo Santo. I'm going to do some really brilliant courses for people. Of course, you're going to sell stuff, right? If you've got that kind of a gift, you want to try and expand as much information as possible to share with people so that they can become independent and sovereign. And that's what I intend to do. So any product, for example, that I use, I will only share things that I use. You cannot make me promote something I don't believe in. Only when I've used it and witnessed it and experienced it for myself will I share it with you. Do you have to take it? Do you have to use that product or that service? No, you don't. That is not me being a sellout. That's me using my platform to share information with all of you so that you can decide and understand what there is out there to help yourself. Do you see where this is coming from, where the logic is coming from here? I hope that this all makes sense for you all. I've already been speaking for 23 minutes. This is crazy. Okay, let's have a look. What have we got? Where's all the comments? Live chat. Even those truthers who have shown their true colors have aided in many finding real truth. Absolutely. When I first started this journey, I started with those, and now I have left all that a long time ago. Absolutely, Snow Shadow. This is the thing. I want you to all remember this, that the universe, our universe, I believe, is a good universe. We have a good creator, okay? Our God, our source creator is light, and in this realm of duality, darkness is always used for the light, always. So even if someone is misleading, it is your journey to go through that and comprehend how to use that shadow, because it will propel you in a direction one way or another. It will propel you into a direction. The only trouble is when people are being passive. So if you are passively receiving and not actively, oh my gosh, I just got kicked off because of a phone call. I'm so sorry. I got kicked off because of a phone call. Are you still there? I hope you're all still there. I got kicked off because of a phone call. Okay, 111 thumbs up. That's great. I need more thumbs up. So I just wanted to say I got kicked off the live because of a phone call. Yeah, that look, there's a lot of BS about, somebody just said. There is a lot of BS about, but this is your journey. This is your journey, and what I'm putting out there is tools for you to use that discernment, tools for you to start to feel intuition rather than just fear. And that's the initial thing that most people do when they first believe they're being discerning. They're overly compensating through fear. So for example, I just put my hand up like this, right? You all, if you've started to learn about the dark, you automatically go, what's that hand signal she's doing? What's that gesture she's doing? Is that a 666? She must be dark. That is not discernment. That is fear speaking. That is not intuition. That is fear speaking. Listen to the resonance of the person's voice. Feel, do they have heart? Are they speaking from their heart? Look in their eyes. Are their eyes full of love and kindness, or are their eyes empty and vacant? Trust me, I want you to just feel it. I want you to close your eyes and feel it. Now, sometimes you just listen to the words. You might not be watching a YouTube video. You might be doing something in the kitchen, so you're just receiving words and you're not feeling, right? But I want you to sit down and watch some of these really popular shows. And I want you to just watch the person, and there'll be something disjointed with them. I had that happen to me about a year and a half, 2 years ago nearly, when someone approached me to do a show with them, really big name. And I'd never watched their show before. And I looked and I thought, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I was just watching. They were saying the right things. They were being kind on the surface, but there was something behind that was dead. There was an emptiness. There was a vacant, soulless energy. That was a big red flag for me. And I realized I couldn't do a show with them. So I said no. Since then, I have had people approach me about that person, saying that person practices witchcraft. So I start to think this person might be a victim. They might be mind controlled. They might be in a coven. They might be a practicer of black magic. And so what they do is they put a charm or a glamour. And you'll often see this with narcissists. I was just talking this morning about narcissists with some friends, and have you ever met them? Have you ever met a narcissist in your life? And it took you a few years to work out they were narcissists. Why? Because they usually have charm. They usually say all the right things. On the surface, they appear to be okay. But when you really get down and know deep down what is going on with them, there is something else operating that person that is vampiric and misleading and deceptive. They are usually users. They want your energy. They want power. And that's what I'm talking about. This is what's happening. You'll see it. If one of the top psychologists and experts on narcissism is saying, at the very least, in normal society, 10% of the population are psychopaths, narcissists, or sociopaths. But she says that in media circles, in performance or public relations sort of circles where they're in the public eye, the percentage goes up dramatically to about 40%. So narcissists are driven by power. And what better place to find power than in the public eye, than in public platforms? What has social media done? It's allowed the narcissist an audience, right? It's given them an audience. It's given them followers. It's given them adoration and fans. So, of course, these platforms are going to be like honeypots for these narcissists. So do you comprehend what I'm trying to say? We need to, as people who are thinking, feeling, sentient beings, remember the God source and God spark within us. Use our discernment. Discard the old way of receiving information, which is this passive way of just trusting whoever is on a public platform. Like the old days, Walter Cronkite, all of these big names in news and media, everybody trusted them. Jimmy Savile was a big name in the media in the UK. He had all these platforms. Everybody trusted him. And after he died, it was discovered that he was one of the biggest necrophiliac pedophiles on the planet. And everybody bought his charm. So what I'm saying to you is be aware of these monsters who are controlled by entities and archons. Be aware of it. Foster that natural discernment within you. Not fear-based, but from your heart. You need to start to learn how to do that. That is what is meant by going within. Going within means not relying on external things to show you the way. It's intuition. It's your inner understanding, your inner awareness, your heart, your truth meter, your barometer for truth. It cannot happen when you are wounded to the hilt and full of trauma and full of fear. It takes time. We need to discard slowly, unpack, heal, remove all of these old barriers to your heart. And a lot of men out there are the ones who are the biggest skeptics because they have been so wounded and they're so disconnected from their heart. So now it's time for you all to learn this. Now, if I am dedicating my life and my time to try as much as I can to be this instigator of finding solutions for all of you to remember that pilot light within you. I will find the best speakers on this subject and show them on my platform. I will try to write courses for you. I will do the one-on-one Q&As for you in my Patreon so that you can all share and learn and grow. It's not good for me to just do readings for the sake of readings. They are used as tools to find that inner intuition, okay? That is why I would be teaching dowsing. Okay, I hope that helps. 402 in the chat. Please go back and watch this video. There were some really important things that were said. Let me just check really quickly. What have we got here? I'm just going to go back and just read some of the comments. Let's see. Hurt people hurt others. Absolutely, Linda. Scan through heart, soul, essence. Yes, JC, I would hope that people would discern from their hearts. That's a very good comment. Let's see. Narcissists need empathic people to exploit and control. Absolutely. When you love that person, it can really damage your self-esteem and trust. Absolutely. Rahasya says, Archon means ruler in Greek. Absolutely. They call themselves the rulers or the rulers, basically. These entities that are heartless. S Nerd says, that would be me, totally disconnected, wounded, murdered 10,000 times. I'm sure you are, but now it's time to clear that, okay? It's time to find that. I've shared the tools with you to help you clear these things on my channel. I have a lot of playlists. One of them is Highlight on Healers. I might go back and reorganize my videos and put more playlists so you can find things more easily. But let's just have a look. It took me 7 years to understand that I was being heavily energetically manipulated by who I thought was my twin, and recently realized that the entities attached to him were attacking me. Aludra, welcome to my world. Absolutely, this is what happens, right? But also, even that concept of the twin can sometimes be a false thing that is put in our mindsets, and that's, hopefully I will be interviewing someone about that, a really well named Eve Lorgan, who talks about that, about this, the twin flame deception. An archon is a matrix ruler, gatekeeper, malevolent ET. Yes. God bless you, JC. Shine the light. Thank you, Sasha. I was betrayed. So Conway Brandon says, I was betrayed by some people I thought were friends, but now I understand that what that was to move me in a different direction in life. Yes. Sometimes these deceptions and these negative things that happen in our life are pushing us in a different direction. They're pushing us into this movement of awareness and greater growth for ourselves. So even the worst things, please try and see the bigger picture in all of things instead of being a victim. By remaining passive and just watching information come to us and thinking, oh, we're doing good for the world by researching, that passiveness, it trains us and programs us to receive without question. And the whole way to create a new world is to use discernment and to create greater investigation from the heart. A new world with a better earth and less deception comes from practicing that intuition that has been taken from us. Does that make sense? Our natural intuition, our natural instincts that all animals have, that all sentient beings have, is a tool for survival. And that's been taken from us and it's been blocked from us. So this is why we're returning to the heart. We're returning to trusting the heart. And so passively receiving information, even if it's cutting edge information, without comprehending how to practice discernment, or how to instigate natural intuition, is doing a disservice for us. That's why I speak out about this stuff. That's why I speak out about trickery and deception, because it is steering you off course from yourself and your heart. Okay, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I've lost the chat. Okay, let's see. Jackie M says, my stubbornness blocks or stops me. Tony Sayers talks about the false twin flame narc relationships. Yes, that's right, Sovereign Creator. There are quite a few people talking about that. There is that deception, and I truly believe, and this is just my opinion, and not you may not agree with it. I believe that there are unseen enemies in this realm. And more people are starting to talk about this and how they are manipulating us in the physical reality. And the more we comprehend about the things that are deceiving us, some people talk, so in the Muslim religion, in Islam, they acknowledge that there are these shadow forces. They acknowledge the jinn. They acknowledge what they do to manipulate us, these tricksters. There are multiple types of trickster entities, and that is what makes this realm a really strong learning ground for us. And so there are those of us who are trying to guide others, other souls, through these manipulations and back to the heart. That's how we learn and how we change this world. We can't change this world by fighting fire with fire. We can't change this world by waiting for something good to happen. We change it from within. But if what is going on within us is wounded and flawed and manipulated, we project a wounded, flawed, and distorted reality. I hope that makes sense. can you make sure that you're subscribed to my channel? If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it on your social media platforms. I know I'm not yelling in this video, but I think the information is just as critical and just as important. Please give a thumbs up. Check that you're subscribed to my channel. Please share this video on your social media and help me out. Loving you all. Please go back and watch this video. I think there were some really good pieces of information here. Hopefully the live chat will be saved. I got disconnected from the call, from the video, and I hope that YouTube didn't wipe the live chat. So lots of love to all of you. I'll see you later.